I think to spend some money on these.
Big drug bust in Victoria County. We'll talk a little NFL, a deeper dive into the MSA numbers, what it means for Victoria, all that and more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show.
What'd you almost call it?
Victoria. Victoria on my head, I guess. On today's Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw.
Welcome to Victoria, Meet Victoria, whatever.
I don't even know what I was going to call
it. I thought you were guest hosting for Caleb Shaw. You just 5 years we've been doing this, and on today's Wade Carter Show.
I can speak. Isn't it?
This guy.
Look at that. Look at their YouTubers.
Yeah, I'm looking like albino Barney. I love you, you love me.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's do this.
Folks, Deer and Feed brings you the weather on a daily basis, and today is a no-excuse Friday. It's 45 degrees going to a high of 72. If you've got a little chutzpah, you can leave the house this morning in short sleeves. You'll have a beautiful, comfortable day. The sun's going to be out. If not, take a sweater. You'll be gone. You'll be out of it by lunch.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, sunshiny day.
Perfect day. Perfect weekend.
Perfect day for Brother Gary to meet a bunch of his friends down at the old ball yard.
That's exactly where he should be.
Right at the old ball yard. All of his buddies.
I was going to say perfect weekend to get down to Deerland Feed today, get all your gardening supplies, so this weekend you can get into the garden.
Is that where I should buy I want functionality. I'm not looking for decoration. Is that where I buy my pots to do my potted pepper plants?
Probably.
Penelope Peters potted pepper plants.
You know what works really well for that?
Like the day shift out of
smaller water troughs.
Right, I could do that.
Marvin Mickish checking in. Chris Conrad, good morning. Jeremy Pena. Jeremy's been traveling all over.
Do you remember what was the guy's? Was it Adam Webb? What was Webb? Mr. Webb, that was the guy that was was on the original Dragnet.
No, that's a little bit before my
He's the guy that was a TV show or start off, and he would say, I was working the day watch out of Central.
Yeah, I remember the show, yeah.
And then what's his name? The old Blues brother, not Belushi.
Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd redid that movie with the Virgin Connie Swain. Remember that? Then they had Johnny Carson used to do a bit with Jack Webb was the gentleman's name. And they talked about so-and-so and the caper of the Copper Clappers. And it was like a tongue twister that they went back and forth. He would ask questions, deadpan, no smile. I need to know about the Copper Clappers. They would go back and forth. Tremendous. If I can bring it up in a minute, I'll play it for you. You think I'm just babbling, but it's actually quite amazing.
You are. I don't know where you're going with this. Lisa Poole, good morning. BJ Nelson checking in. Bobby Leister, Karen Webb, Carolee Smith, the Leisterometer holding steady at 732. I think that's down one from earlier this week, but it's spring break, so maybe they're off somewhere. Patrick Strauss, good morning. Kimmy James checking in. Judge Posey, good morning to you. Jeff Fonseca, good morning, Fonzie.
Judge remembers the Copper Clappers. Judge probably, he probably sired his children to Johnny Carson.
Chris Conrad says Joe Friday.
Joe Friday was his character,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So I sent a note
Douglas,
to
good morning.
Sheriff Justin Marr.
Yep.
I said, this is this morning early. He has to get up and feed the horses. And I said, congrats on your birthday 2 days ago. I didn't want to be the first to reach out. Also, nice job on the cocaine bust. I got this dissertation back. Thank you. That's it.
Madam, hey,
That's all.
why use many words when two will do?
Right. Which could be, yeah. Or don't contact me again. Could be 4.
Yeah. Could have been another word in front of that you.
Right.
It wasn't.
Could have been. Could have just used the WTH, could have just said FU. It could have.
It could have.
He was polite.
Yeah, no, he was.
Gracious.
But, it brings up another point to the cartel activity. And they pulled over a tractor trailer, took about $500,000 worth of cocaine off the streets. But, the human trafficking that has ramped up, the illegal immigrants activity through the region makes you wonder if, I know the two things go on simultaneously, but makes you wonder if that's all sort of been a diversion so that guys like this driving the tractor trailer through Victoria County could have got through scot-free, right? Let's send all the illegal aliens up 77 into the north of Victoria, and then we'll just get our drugs through 59 on the way to Houston.
Right. Makes you wonder how many, I'm sure it makes them wonder how many other trailers, well, it's just a flatbed trailer. I mean, it wasn't like it was a, semi.
Had a false compartment in it.
There you go. Kelly Fromme comes in with some value.
Always does.
Always does. Absolutely.
So, but it's just, there's no end to, again, you've got Joe Biden with it. And there's the other thing.
You're verklempt. It's very odd for you.
Well, it makes you wonder how deep this goes.
Are you having a stroke?
No, not at all.
Can you do your hands out like that? Can you?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Touch your nose.
Because
stand on one foot, do the alphabet.
No. That's a DWI arrest.
Oh, okay.
That's totally different. You always pass that. They go, man, you're sure coordinated. I'm always good when I'm loaded. No, I'm just saying.
Give me this test at 7:00 in the morning.
You were trying to say in Cliff's notes that Joe Biden's policies at the border are observably affecting the United States of America. There's no getting around the fact that our migrant facilities are overwhelmed. People are in cages, ripped from their parents, or they're coming without parents. And now drug traffic is up even more because of good old Joe.
Well, and I don't
Scranton, the man from Scranton.
Yeah, and I don't blame just Joe. Again, America's appetite for illicit drugs is part of the problem.
It's hard getting up this early.
Well, it is. That shipment was just your supply for next week.
Why are my hands shaking? I don't know.
Good morning, Scott Snow and Richard King. But it makes you wonder, too, just how many supposedly legitimate businesses the cartels have their hands in.
Oh, absolutely.
To launder their money.
They're so big they can go legit. You see me lurking around the evidence locker down at the VCSO. Man, can you spare me one key? Good morning, Richard King.
Just a little baggie.
Ricky King.
BJ Nelson asked if we saw Joe Biden's interview with George Stephanopoulos, and
no, that was just a tongue bath.
Didn't even know he was doing one. Yeah. But
I can't wait to watch Joe Biden's live debate with Vlad Putin, as if that's ever going to happen. First of all, you had I was going to say Ho Chi Minh. Kim Jong-un comes out and says, "Hey, look, I didn't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a thorn in my side. We disagreed on a lot of things, but at least I respected him." He goes, "Joe Biden is weak, and the U.S. is weaker because of Joe Biden."
Absolutely.
That's just an adversarial player who's like, I ain't scared of Joe Biden. If I want to launch a missile, I'll launch a missile. Now you got Vlad Putin literally, folks, calling him out and saying, hey, this dude's an idiot. He can't complete the sentence. Tell you what, let's have a live debate, not a bunch of rehearsed, practiced, and canned comments. Let's he and I visit about things on a global scale. And the Democrats are scurrying like rats when the lights come on. Because he can't hold his own.
No.
He can't represent the United States. And what's Kamala going to do? You'd find her in a Russian hotel with Vlad. Unbelievable.
I can't understand how we can sit there, treat one adversary like we've got to have diplomacy, Iran, which I don't understand why we need to treat Iran with any sort of diplomacy. This is a country that its leaders have vowed to erase America from the face of the earth.
Right.
And these are the ones we have to be diplomatic with.
Death to America. You know
Right.
why? Because the Democrats always negotiate from a position of fear. Suck up to the people that threaten you. Iran threatens you. Oh, man, we've got to open a dialogue with them so they understand that we're not the evil beast from the West.
But Russia continues to be, you know, they want to revive the Cold War. And Kevin Myers, who listens, is traveling in Mexico and posted a picture of a Mexican newspaper where Joe Biden calls Vlad Putin a murderer.
Yeah. Joe
Which,
Biden
I mean, no doubt. He's, you know,
no
I mean,
doubt.
his people have tried to poison others, you know.
So that's the deal.
His-
we don't negotiate with terrorists. That's
Yeah.
going to be the position that Biden's going to take, the political high road of, I'm not going to talk to you. You're nothing more than a terrorist.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The Ayatollah's on the phone. I got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it makes you understand when you look at that intelligence report that was released earlier this week that showed that Russia was trying to influence the election to favor Donald Trump's reelection.
Right.
Iran was trying to influence the election to help Joe Biden win. Now you understand a little, at least to me, it clears up why Joe Biden is playing favors for Iran and trying to still paint Vlad as the bad guy, which he is. I'm not going to deny that.
Well, it's your Uncle Vlad, and
Well, it
is
is.
that your baptism?
But
Had to break
you
the
know,
ice in Siberia to get you wet.
you have to wonder how much Joe and the gang knew about Iran's efforts to try to help the election in Joe's favor. Don't you? I
Yeah.
mean, you know, now he's brokering deals with South Korea to get money to Iran. We're going to let them ramp up their nuclear program because
That makes sense because they're all
Yeah.
about nuclear power in the
it's all
desert.
about it.
Good morning, Sheriff Louderback. You know, you got to wonder if I'm convinced that Russia has been in such a deteriorating position for so long that if you went over there and really inspected all their missile silos, I'll bet you a full third of them are not functional, and another third are probably fake to make you think they're real. And even though just because you could do something doesn't mean you should do something. If the United States opened, and there's no real reason to do this anymore, an all-out nuclear holocaust onto Russia, I'm not convinced that it wouldn't be survivable here. There was a time, we will mutually explode. We'll both devastate the entire planet. I don't think that Russia's car will start. I don't. I think they haven't had a real enemy for 25 years. They haven't done anything. I never hear about their new MiG or anything cool. You know, you can hear about the new F-35 that we put hundreds of billions of dollars into that doesn't work, but at least we're trying.
Well, I think
We have Space Force.
I think they've got some nuclear subs.
Yeah, no, that's a legitimate point. Would they work? Would they, where did they get their mechanisms?
No, I think they work. They just,
Hello, Jayhawk. There's my friend John
John
Omick.
Omick checking in.
from the
HR
Valley.
Mallory, good morning. I think I saw Sheriff Louderback checking in.
Oh, the
Christina
great one.
Wise is
That's
there.
America's Sheriff. America's Sheriff.
Chris Conrad says I need to wash my mouth or I'll get called back to the motherland.
Yeah, that's not good when you've been here for all this time and you're so entrenched. If they call you and say, you need to come to Moscow, bring vodka. That's a problem. It's not usually for a birthday party.
Well, it's a real problem if they're calling me to bring Russia vodka to Russia. Yeah, there's some problems in Russia if that's the case. Jason Moeller checking in. Diane Tippett, Mark Zepeda.
He says he's enjoying the show. Way to go, Jason.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Jason.
Call us and tell us how great we're doing. 575-9509. Really, enough about you folks and your problems. Let's talk about me and Ash and our problems. Our problems are very real. It's stressful.
I saw you this morning, and the first thing I thought was,
oh, here we go.
8th grade gym teacher. You're dressed
all
like
right, gather around, everybody. Gather around. All right. Billy, put the jacks down.
You're dressed like Mrs. Stevenson.
Right? Like like you're running Ash was the guy running the dice game over in the corner in the 8th grade. Everybody's working on they don't have a presidential.
Wasn't a dice game.
Yeah, they have a Trudeau, get your Trudeau badge up there, and want to welcome all of our listeners in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That's our favorite spot.
Terry Murray, good morning. Chris Conner says Tito's is that good. I'm not so sure about that one, but
it's
Johnny Hott, good morning.
Johnny Hott, now that's a double secret name.
You even got the 3-stripe pants on.
Johnny Hott is
like to wear
double-aught spy. You know that, don't you? It's like double-aught.
He's been busy birthing calves, not himself, but helping his heifers do that work.
Start rude about his kids.
Kyle Nowak, UHV Baseball is on the road this weekend.
Catch them live.
Bob Constantine. Heather Monroe, good morning.
Hello, Bob Constantine. You know, right there's a great spot to tell you about Texas Coast Limo. 575 Limo for your next party event. Here's the deal. You could load up next Thursday evening and decide to go to Whataburger with the kids, and that ain't no big deal. But you decide to go to Whataburger with the kids, and you have a limo come and pick up you and your family. It's less expensive than you think, and it's a memory that your kids will cherish forever. Can you imagine pulling through the drive-through at Whataburger in a limo? Might not make it.
I'm not sure it would make that.
You might not. You have to get out and go in. The limo waits for you. The driver, dressed appropriately, opens the door for you. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
575 Limo is the number to call.
He says Brittany's cousin is a utility player.
I don't know all the family tree of all the players.
Jose Ramon is your cousin. Awesome. Allen's Rigger Service, 578-6300. Allen's.
You know who never needs Allen's?
Allen?
Well, Bob Constantine, Texas Limousine.
No, they won't break down.
No, they've got late models. They're all the latest models.
575 Limo. Reach out to them. Yeah. The VCS Company's Rocket Oilfield Services, the only local and authorized AT&T realtor, all part of the Hartman Communication Empire.
Bob says no sharp turns. There we go.
So you're related to the Mitchellings. Okay, cool. Yeah, we know him. Know him well. Raised him. Coached him on a 15U team. Yeah.
That's why he's not as developed as he should be.
Right, that's why I've got him at UHV. Chesnick Furniture Company. No, back to the Hartmans. If you need security, surround sound on the back patio, surveillance, whatever you need. I mean, we've said it here 1,000 times, but I mean, I've got 1080p expandable video on my front patio, my front porch. If you walk up, if you drive onto my cul-de-sac, I can see your license plate. It's pretty good. And between my neighbor to the...
And that's just your house. There's businesses in town who try to post videos and they don't invest. They need to. They need to call the VCS companies because they have more assets to protect than you do, and they have worse security cameras than you do.
Absolutely. Reach out to the Hartmans. Reach out to VCS today. Chesnick Furniture Company for 101 years. Don't reach out. Go down there. I challenge you to go down this weekend. Spend some time on the square. It's starting to be spring-like down there. The courthouse looks beautiful. Go down and enjoy the amenities of downtown Victoria. Walk around to the corner of Juan Lynn and Bridge, and it's just one block south of the courthouse. And window shop at Chesnick Furniture.
Go in and shop.
We'll go in, and then you'll buy something, and they'll deliver it for you that day. You'll be glad you
challenge you to go find a better deal.
You want 50% off on all kinds of great stuff.
Absolutely. And today is the last day of the week to enjoy Veracruz.
You got to get to Veracruz. Today would be a great day. Today would be a great day to have just a traditional, greasy, cheesy Tex-Mex plate. Cheese enchiladas, rice and beans. Put their hot sauce on it.
You could, if you wanted to enjoy it tomorrow or Sunday, you could give them a
Oh.
call, 576-6015. Order your enchilada casserole for the weekend. They'll have it ready for you to pick up this evening.
Don't forget to ask for a quart of hot sauce when you do. It's the best hot sauce ever.
Tanya Asbury, good morning.
Her Uncle Haight was there.
Kyle
San
Nowak
Francisco.
says they're moving soon and we'll be heading to Chesnick's and calling BJ to get set up with white trash services. Awesome.
So Nowak's moving out of the county. If you're in the 7-county area, including Holiday Beach, Rockport, you can reach out to 550-1826. BJ Nelson, Scott Nelson, Carl, the group down there, the family down there at White Trash Services is excited to help you have a trash-tastic day. Now, Kyle, while you're building that home, you can also use white trash for a roll-off dumpster. Tell the guys, hey, keep this job site clean.
Get it over to white. Get with white trash. They'll get it roll off.
550-1826. Noak's moving back to Inez.
There you go.
That's the back to
That is the back 40.
Good job.
Which I guess kind of brings us to the MSA conversation that you had with Clint Ives. And I understand the concern from commissioners, and I'm sure city council has similar concerns because a lot of funding that TxDOT has brought through this region would disappear if the state changes the definition of what is a metropolitan service region, I think, or service area or statistical area, right?
Metropolitan statistical area.
So, and they want to change that to 100,000 people.
The threshold has been 50,000.
And Victoria easily meets that criteria.
But sadly, we have since about 1978.
Yeah. And that's where I want to go with this. The concern, is the state wrong in changing a number that's been around for a long time to meet growing population centers and the demand placed on finite resources? Let's be honest. We don't print money like the federal government and can't. It comes from our tax dollars. And, reallocating, as you like to say, where's the P? Where's the P?
Where's the P? That's right.
But in looking at the data, here's the concern for me as a Victoria County resident and of this region. When the state of Texas population growth, when you graph it, has been like this at about a 45-degree angle. And then you take Victoria's population growth over that same time, and that number starts to flatten out to about here. And the last couple of years, it's actually doing this and maybe even this. That's more the concern for me as a resident, as a taxpayer, because that means our tax base is also shrinking.
Yes.
We're about 92,000 people in the county, so we're about 8,000 shy of that 100,000 number.
Think of it as franchises and box stores leaving Victoria. Now, that doesn't matter. Nobody really shopped there anyway. And then the next thing you know, you're Sinton. The problem we've got with Sinton without the new pipe plant, Sinton without the new port in Corpus that's spurring tremendous growth in Sinton. The problem I've got is you've got roads, and they say that roads have, say, a 30-year life or 50-year life, pick whatever number it is. When you take our tax base,
except in Victoria, they say they have a 2-year life.
When you take our tax base and you say we've got X number of miles of road and you have to replace 1/30th, right? 3% of them every year, we're already past maximum density. We don't have the money to keep up with the roads we've already got, much less enough to expand and build new roads unless we have a new tax base. HR Mallory says we're at 99K.
Because we include Goliad, but still.
What they really want to do is they want to get us to change our partner to Calhoun County. And if you do that, which is booming, Calhoun County is booming, we can move. And if you combine those two, then we clearly, easily meet their requirements. And that's why they want you to write letters, is so that you can write a letter saying, hey, by the way, 22 miles to the south, we have a major port that's about to be deep water. The infrastructure needs here are massive. And hopefully they will include that instead of Goliad when, from here to Goliad is just 2 lanes of 59.
Robin Moore Knipling says today's the last day for public comment, but it doesn't hide the fact that Victoria has been stagnant for years at a state that's been growing at a clip of, pick a number. 10% on the low side, 30% on the high side of annual population growth, and Victoria has fallen behind and not kept up with that.
No exaggeration. I heard Glenn Hager 2 years ago say that Texas grows at 10,000 people a day. How many people you met in Victoria from California? Hey, dude, just grooved in here from LA.
Yeah.
Because they ain't coming here.
No.
There's nothing to do here.
That's the challenge and probably the bigger thing, and I know people don't like change in Victoria, but if you're not growing as a city, you're dying as a city.
Right.
Look at Detroit for, a glaring example of which way not to go for a city.
Absolutely.
And Victoria has absolutely missed the bus that has driven Texas's population growth for whatever reason. Hasn't kept pace even close to the rate of population growth of the state and other cities.
Well, if you have the chance to put money into a community, are you going to put it into Victoria? Or are you going to put it into Houston? I mean, you put it into Houston, the peripheral cities, Richmond, Rosenberg, they're growing.
But you look at the reasons why people are fleeing cities. Long commutes, too much traffic, too much crime, too many people.
See, Victoria's got some great natural attributes.
So
HR says Calhoun County did used to be with Victoria. Haven't heard why they were removed.
Wasn't that part of that? Yeah, I think wasn't that when they built that old interchange around Placido that way? Remember
I'd like to get them
turned
back
into 4 lanes and overpass down there and all that. But I mean that talk about. I mean you're shifting the P when you're talking about Goliad or Calhoun, right?
Sure.
And let's not. I mean we made some infrastructure changes and improvements on 59 towards Goliad and in Goliad, but
okay. Question for you.
Still,
I'm looking straight out across Petty Welter. You see that bright light up there? Way out there. Is that like a flare like Ineos or somewhere?
Must be one. Yeah, must
We're
be.
hearing the 25,000 watt tower of power at Laurent Tower. I mean, that's a long way from here, brother.
Or in Vista.
It's still a clear long way from here.
Well, but think about it, because we haven't had a clear view of the skyline probably all week because it's been somewhat foggy. Beautiful, clear day.
Sure, Captain speaking. We'll be cruising today at a height of about 125 feet.
Visibility is endless.
Endless. It's a beautiful day to fly. Hope you folks sit back and enjoy yourselves. We'll let you know. No, you can't use the restroom. Our flight attendant had a slight accident in there. Shoosh. Don't go in there. It's a great place for a stick up. But yes, when you're seated, you keep your buckle around your waist.
And your mask on your face.
You there, Mr. Carter, with the belt extender, please keep that buckle, sir.
Mr. Carter, are you a gym teacher?
You better get a bucket. I think I'm going to throw up.
You teach PE?
Oh, people.
Middle school coach, Mr. Carter?
For those of you that are
speaking of masks and airlines, how does John Kerry get a free pass from the media for having his mask down on a commercial flight, not wearing it?
He's handsome.
Really looks like Frankenstein now. He's
right.
Never quite figured that one out, but right?
He does. He's got those knobs on his neck. BJ Nelson says, our real estate in the city is so expensive it discourages people from opening businesses. Also, city regulations are extreme. I hope the city council will do things to encourage individuals to open businesses. BJ, we're back to having those conversations when I was dumb enough to run for mayor. And which, by the way, thank you to it's unbelievable the number of people that have called and suggested and threatened and screamed. And I'm not going to run for mayor. I gave Victoria their shot at greatness. They passed. So they passed. I'm not going to let them pass twice. Just once. That's it. Yeah, well, leave Vic out of this.
Yeah.
Folks, the Atzenhower dealership since 1926, Victoria's dealer. Okay, I voted for Vic. What are you talking about? Atzenhower.com, that's your place to go.
So did I.
Shut up. That's your place to go for a new Cadillac, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Chevy, or if you'd like to find a gently pre-owned vehicle, they've got a bunch of them. You're going to like the offerings, and it all makes and models. They've got all types of vehicles on their lot. Every now and then you'll see a Range Rover, you'll see Lincoln products. These are the best of the best. I will not run for school board. Are you kidding me, JP? JP Hull telling me to run for school board.
Probably
Maybe an industrial.
More thankless
Yeah,
than mayor.
absolutely. I'll leave that to Dale Zook. He's doing a great job campaigning for school board and is a great numbers guy. We already talked about White Trash Services. That is Razor IT Solutions. JP Hull has run the analytics, and it shows that if I ran for school board, I could lose that election too. There you have it. Reach out to the law offices of Steve Kidder. You feel that you've been wronged, if you need somebody to help you guide you through the court system.
You need a lawsuit for the elections board?
You know what they call people
Challenge
that
your
represent
laws for
themselves in court?
Losers.
Inmates. Yeah. You do not want to represent yourself in court. You need somebody to guide you down the path. And it can be as easy as adopting a baby, a joyous occasion. It could be the dissolution of a marriage. I mean, he can help you with the legal aspect. He's not here to worry about the emotional side of things. Take your emotions out of it. Give that to Steve Kidder and let him deal with what he deals with.
He will bear your burden.
Right? Complete 360. The health bar's right here next to Woodlawn Bowl. But the full offering, well, it's interesting. You got the paninis and the waffles, and the food is here.
Yes.
The majority of the supplements, and they both have a smoothie bar, is up north next to Buffalo Wild Wing. You can't go wrong. I mean, everything I've had in there is delightful, and it's all healthy for you.
The assortment of healthy snacks
It's
down here at the health bar. If you don't want a panini or a wrap or a full meal,
right?
They've got some great healthy alternatives to get you through those parts of the day where you just grab a bag of chips.
Absolutely.
And feel like snacking.
Absolutely.
I mean, like cheese balls that are so packed with protein. It's like, I don't know how you get 22 grams of protein in a cheese ball that size.
Well, it weighs 14 pounds. It's crazy. It's very dense.
You put on 8 just eating it.
Right. There you have it.
Oh, let's see what else is but yeah, how does John Kerry get, and it's the hypocrisy.
There you go. You found the word. The Democrats are always recognized by their hypocrisy.
Ted Cruz called out for holding a cup of coffee an entire flight so he could keep his mask down. John Kerry doesn't even go to that length to try to masquerade the charade of not wearing a mask on a plane. He just doesn't wear it. And nothing.
The Democrats have screamed for over a year, you've got to trust the science. You've got to trust the science, because the Democrats are not in any manner a faith-based. You'll never hear the Democrats say, we need to make sure we pray about this or whatever. Who cares? It's all lip service.
Speaking of the science, anyway. You see Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci get into it the other day over masks.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going. They all now admit, if you're following the science, the 6-foot perimeter around you, just a number pulled out of the air. There were no, like in your mind, you picture that somebody had a meter of some type set at the 2-foot, 4-foot, 6-foot mark, and that it showed that the mist from your face or your breath only carried the disease.
Yeah,
so
5,
none of that.
5.5.
None of that. None of that's even remotely true. What do you think, Ash? I don't know. 5, 6. Let's make it 6 feet. Say 5's enough. 6 will make it safe.
But staying away from someone who might have a virus.
Common sense.
It is. It's common sense. You stay away.
Yeah.
But you can look at the data for mask mandates, mandatory mask mandates. California's had one in place.
Just as sick as anybody else.
And all this anecdotal evidence, people, well, nobody wore the mask. Bull crap. People were wearing the masks. People are still wearing the masks. Mandatory mask mandates in states like California, where the sheeple don't rise up against anything. Surprisingly, actually, they got to 2 million signatures plus to recall Gavin Newsom.
How's that going? Is it going to happen?
It should. I don't know the whole process there, but you got to wonder whether or not Didn't they do this back in like 2003 or something? I can't remember the governor's name, but
They're always upset out there. I keep trying to find a way to work this into our day.
Yeah, but we don't cry.
It's like an Oprah thing. It's like,
we don't need it.
Megan, I feel so bad for you having to be royal. The burden, the weight of the jewels.
But that's the one thing that, to me, the science doesn't show. Staying away from people, avoiding crowded situations where people could conceivably have the virus.
Well, so much of it is common sense. When you see that deal that we all grew up with, hey, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And the other day I read an article. It was a full-blown article by a doctor about, hey, it's actually true. There's certain vitamins and nutrients in apples that are very difficult to get other places. Be sure you eat the skin. It's loaded with vitamins, yada, yada, yada. It's got fiber. It's good for your colon. Blah. And so it started out as something we thought great-grandma just said for fun. It was observed. People have been around a while. Well, and it was observed that, hey, the guy that ate the apple every day, his gut didn't hurt all the time.
Well, I mean, if you, and extrapolate that, an apple's sort of a metaphor for eating healthy, right?
Yeah.
We've stopped doing that for years.
Every one of Fauci's
decades
policies are politically based. Dr. Rand Paul is a I want to say mainstream
I think so.
physician.
But
Patrick Strauss says we might be able to have a barbecue on July 4th. Yeah, Texans everywhere went, whoa, yeah. Joe, wait, we weren't supposed to keep barbecuing?
We already were.
We've been doing that, Joe. Unbelievable. Pure trouble just strolled in here.
So the European Union did okay the AstraZeneca shot. Said that study between AstraZeneca and the University of Oxford said that there is no increase in the overall risk of blood clots from that AstraZeneca shot. Is it interesting that AstraZeneca leads that study?
Yes. Yeah. Is that you?
I accidentally
it was apropos.
It kind of was.
We looked at that and we looked at our vaccine and we don't find any evidence that it causes blood clots. I think that you've got people that are going to get, people get blood clots. People pass away. Things happen every day in this country. So when people go, and the one thing they have in common is they all got this vaccine, then all of a sudden the vaccine is causing all of these anomalies, and I'm not sure that's the case. But it does seem to me that a higher percentage of people have problems with the vaccine than the percentage of people that actually have problem with corona. COVID, whatever it is. I had it twice. I'm over it.
You haven't had it twice.
I have had it twice.
Statistically, the people that get it twice are very rare. You're not that lucky.
I am very rare. Pure trouble walked in and Dale Zook wrestled it to the ground. Financial mismanagement, wrestled. Obliviousness, wrestled to the ground. Dale Zook has conquered ignorance. I knew I could get him. Just took a minute.
He hasn't conquered yet. He keeps coming back to this show.
Every time I think I'm out, they keep pulling me back in.
When he stops walking in through this door, he'll have conquered ignorance.
He walks in and smiles at you like, I'm here.
Jeff Fonseca says the only apple he's touched in the last few years is his phone.
Right?
That's the problem with
that. For us.
That's the problem with this country. And yeah.
Reach out to the One Stop Death Shop, Dana Moore, De La Garza, 652-9157.
Give Dana a call for all your afterlife planning needs.
It's every day I feel
party
like
on the other side.
Yeah, the party. It's all business in the front.
Yeah, Dana can help you plan it. Cheryl will help decorate it.
Work on the mullet in the back. Vera Cruz will cater it. The VCS companies will help you stream it live. I don't see how you can go wrong. You can have a Wade and Carter funeral. Cost you about $50,000. But if you reach out to Dana Moore De La Garza, she can help you minimize your expenses. You can say, hey, did you know that in Texas you can be buried in a pine box? You don't have to be entombed in some $5,000-$8,000 copper casket. And the thing is, you're going to be way too emotional. You don't want to be pinchy at the moment of performance. You want to be like, oh, Dad would have liked that. Well, if you'd have asked him, Dad might have told you he wanted to be cremated and be over with it.
Yeah.
Reach out to Dana Moore de la Garza. It costs you nothing to talk to her. And I guarantee you 90% of you would be blown away at what a funeral is going to cost at that time. It's better to go ahead and pay for it now. A lot of folks have the ability with no qualification. You can buy life insurance for pennies a month that will cover your funeral expenses. Dana Moore can help you spend those dollars wisely. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray.
Speaking of wisely spending dollars, Terry is the go-to expert in mortgages.
Interest rates are at just all-time lows. You need to reach out to her and lock in while you can.
Conventional FHA, VA financing, all available. Whether you're buying a home, refinancing, you want to get the equity out of your home so you can maybe remodel, go on a lifetime vacation when and if they lift travel mandates.
The only way,
or you want a reverse mortgage, Terry can help you with that as well.
Only way to get a lower rate is if Dale Zook loans you the money himself. Went Services, Went Electrical, Went Plumbing, Went Solar Panels. Just say, hey, I went. Reach out to them today. Get a generator quote. We are on the very cusp of storm season. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Doom and Gloom on a Friday, I'm predicting we're going to have a very active hurricane season. I think we will. We dodged a shotgun blast last year. There were storms everywhere. We dodged them. If the power goes out,
last year was the first time, and if I remember correctly, in many, many decades where 3 years after a big storm wasn't followed up. There was about a 3-year span the numbers bared it out for decades. 3 years after a big one, you get another one. We didn't get that last year, so.
Well, you can say what you want about Victoria, but if somebody farts in Castle Hills, we don't have power for 3 days. So you better get you a generator. Reach out to Went. They are great folks. They are extremely fair. They are extremely busy. If you want a generator by May, you need to call them today.
And they can plumb it for you too if you want like that hooked up to your propane, natural gas.
Absolutely. USA Concrete Coatings.
Transformational. That's what they do. They'll take that drab concrete slab and turn it into something absolutely amazing that looks awesome, functions well, and makes you proud to be on your back patio again.
Absolutely. 578 Home. Charlie Garcia's team will come out and hook you up. Natalie Meyer says, Mayor, not Meyer. Mayor.
Didn't sleep in.
Said, I thought she said I didn't sleep, like I didn't sleep last night. Okay. So there's a little too much information. And in the Gray Barn, reach out to Cheryl, 920-6803. Cheryl's doing a wedding this weekend. Cheryl's been very busy. I highly recommend that you get on her list for your next event. You give her an idea, you give her a theme, she will decorate around it. Perfect.
Looks like we're headed for a dry spring. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says that about the western half of the country will see continued dry conditions all spring long. It'll it'll affect about 74 million people from Texas to North Dakota and all the way to parts of California as well. Pacific Northwest will see their typical wet spring.
Wow. So here's my question to you.
Yep.
Dale Zook is here. Dale Zook is here for a reason. Because yesterday I handed you 2 tickets to the Go Ahead Rodeo.
Yeah, I know.
They were free.
They were.
For Dale. You were putting them at the time I last saw you, putting them in the briefcase.
I gave them to you yesterday.
And you put them in the briefcase.
You gave them back to me, and I didn't like that idea at the time, and I expressed that to you at the time.
Right. So what did you do with
I
it?
forgot them this morning because I shouldn't have had them.
You think Dale really wants to be here? Dale skipped church to be here.
I missed church today.
Man.
I'll be back in town later today.
Dale, he will come and find you.
Yeah, I'll find you. All right. My wife is going to find you.
Yeah, it'll be a fun show. Dawn and I are going to go tonight. We're looking forward to that. That'll be, take the boys and go, maybe even a kid or two with us. You know, besides ours. No, it's fun.
Leave the kids at home tonight. Bring them back family day on Sunday. You and Dawn go enjoy a night to yourselves.
I'd like to. I like the way you're thinking. You know, if I bought them like a $20 Nintendo card or whatever, you know, like a PS5, like a card they could use on their games, they would be like, fine. Y'all have fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's worth the investment.
I like the way you're thinking. I'll see if Dawn wants to do that.
Are you gonna go to the rodeo as a 8th grade
Gym teacher?
Gym teacher?
All right, let's gather around.
Or are you going to actually put on your fancy
What I
Western
like-
duds?
What I like is I was watching a kid. I went to that junior high track meet, and the coach is out there. He's got his clipboard. This guy's
They
about
call you out of the stands to come on
No.
down dressed like that?
no. This guy's. They thought I was a scout from a JUCO. This guy's about 5'9", about 280, and their kids are running the mile.
In the 8th grade?
Yeah, 8th grade coach.
Oh, the coach was
The
5'9",
coach.
280.
He's only about 30, but he's 5'9", about 280. And he's screaming at a kid, go get him, as they're running the mile. This guy couldn't drive a mile. And was screaming at this kid, go get him, go catch him. The kid was, rail thin, running around in the third leg of the third corner over there of the third lap. And Roly-Poly's down there telling him, go get this kid. I said, it's like having Buddha talk to me about moderation. You go get him. I did watch some kids at the elementary level. They just said, done. Just pulled up, walked right off the track. Like when they stopped running, they didn't keep walking around the track. They just took a left and went to the infield. Done. That's a quarter of a mile. That's
Did they put the sheet out and
Yeah.
pulled up lane?
Put them down. Yeah. Oh, no. It was full blood. There's Gatorade and a slice of an orange. They get the whole deal out there.
If that's not proof that coordinated effort to get kids to run like that just sucks the joy out of running. These are kids that'll run all day long when they have no need to run. When somebody's told them not to run, they're going to run, right?
Slow down. Yeah.
The minute you try and get them to run in a circle, if these kids weren't told what to do, they would probably break every record ever set.
Absolutely.
The minute you try to tell them what to do, the joy is gone and they don't want to run anymore.
It's almost like being an athletic director at a university.
Almost, not quite.
Anybody want to call us? You got to call. Dale, got anything you want to share? 575-9509. Anybody
Here
can
for the
call.
tickets.
Just here for the ticket.
Yeah,
The infield.
you and everybody else.
Just here for me. We have another set. I don't know where they
I
are.
left them at home too.
Yeah.
Can't even give those away. I'll have to give those away on Facebook later or something.
There. Hey, tune in to Wade and Carter's Facebook page. You'll
Or I'll
get a
just
chance to win.
Or just I'll give them to somebody who's looking for tickets at the gate
Right.
Sunday.
That's always a nice
Yeah,
thing
I had
to
one
do.
job. One job.
You'd be amazed how many times our one jobs overlap and we don't get them done. I'll walk out without the iPad, or you'll walk out. I left the computer. At the
Yeah, I had to turn
office.
around and get. Christina Wise says call for tickets. You'll get them next week.
Yeah.
We'll give you next year's rodeo tickets for this year's rodeo.
The good news is we can get you next year's tickets. We do. We do know where. See
Yeah,
that
we know
one
where to
building over
go.
there always has water on the roof. I mean, if I
Yeah.
was the landlord over there, I'd be concerned about that because it hadn't rained in a week and there's
No,
just
it's still
water
sitting
on the
there.
roof. Water always finds a way to get to where it wants to go, and that ought to be,
Wow, that's profound.
that ought to be pretty easy to fix that over there. I'd fix it. I may go by there and go, "What are you doing here, Billy?"
Is that what New Orleans Saints fans are asking themselves?
Yeah. Well,
What are you doing here, Jameis Winston?
Yes,
Is this the answer?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's got. So you remember he was a first pick overall. He's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, out of Florida State.
Yeah, he's the guy that made Jimbo Fisher.
Did
He
Tampa
was
Bay,
7.5.
did they take him?
I'm not positive, but he's the guy that got Jimbo Fisher $7.5 million a year from the Aggies. Think
Yeah.
about that. I mean,
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher owes Jameis Winston, and then you look at it, and he's got the highest turnover ratio in the NFL. Period. Cannot throw the ball to the right guy. And if they can straighten him out, and Sean Payton is certainly a guru with quarterbacks. He's a young man. He's got a tremendous upside, and he has a
Great arm.
great arm.
Has some legs. He brings. He probably. I mean, he brings that dimension.
Yeah.
And Drew Brees had escapability, but Jameis Winston brings a second dimension to the quarterback position that the Saints didn't have.
Well, Drew Brees would like duck and run between the legs of defensive linemen. He was
True.
little. He was
Jameis
little.
Winston will just run over them.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Yeah.
I think the Saints, I don't know, Peyton, I'm sure, I'm sure Sean Payton wakes up and says, should I have retired when Drew retired?
Nah, he's not there.
There you go.
But that'll be an interesting call. Cowboys sign a linebacker from the Jets. I mean, does that get anybody excited? I don't know.
No. I mean, no, it
It's the
shows that the
Jets.
guy's already used to losing. Just give him the blue and silver and let's go.
I mean, when you're seeing the money thrown around, 2 years at about $8 million or so for the 2 years, that tells me he's probably not the best linebacker.
Why is Fonzie saying drunk lady is awesome? Drunk lady won't call. She's listening. She's not drunk, really. She's not. I mean, I'd love to give her an out. She's just that inept. But she won't call.
Well, we haven't bashed Biden enough today.
You're so negative.
Does this scare anybody? Facebook trying to develop a technology that you basically wear this thing on your wrist like a watch, and it will try to figure out signals from your brain to your hands.
I'd rather not.
Do we want that? Do we want Facebook?
My man, Frank Mejia, comes in and says Breeze is tall. You know, if Frank Mejia would have been that tall, he might have played in the bigs. No kidding, Frankie.
Well, you had to learn to throw. Though.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good wit for a Yankees fan.
Yes.
Who's going to win the World Series? The Nationals were kind of decimated, right?
Yeah. You know,
San Diego, really good.
yeah. You know, it's San Diego. I think they made some moves, but I just don't think they get them over the top.
Cleveland Indians.
Dodgers got to be there again.
Astros. Yankees.
Yeah, I'm
Yankees
not
there.
sure. But yeah, I think the Yankees got to be my favorite. Christina Wise says you can't coach height. Can't teach height either.
Legit points.
So UCLA, Drake, Texas Southern, Norfolk State all advanced in the men's first 4 round yesterday. So
In what sport?
basketball.
Texas playing?
No, they're already in. This is the play-in games.
Oh,
Last night.
there's like 64 teams now.
Well, there have been 64 for a long time.
UCLA.
But now there's 68. They added 4 teams.
UCLA
had to
beat
play in.
Michigan State. They beat them. So they
Wichita
played
State lost. I don't know.
BYU, I think.
Yeah,
So I listened this morning, one of the Crickies, Don Cricky, they said they thought Gonzaga would really be the favorite to go on and win it
that's
all.
who I picked.
Because this is like when you get into the minutia that never works out in college basketball. Cricky said that in the playoffs or in the tournament, teams go deeper into the shot clock. The games are traditionally more low scoring, and the guard play becomes more important. And that Gonzaga has 2 guards that can really help manage the game.
I don't know if the games will
Okay.
be as low scoring this year because the Ivy League is not sending their conference champ.
Right.
So that keeps Harvard or Princeton from playing their slow roll 35-34 beat you game.
Colgate is expected to actually beat somebody today. It was one of the upsets was watch out for Colgate.
Big TV deal signed by the NFL.
Iceman, have a nice weekend, buddy. Fonseca says he'll take Illinois.
I'm picking Gonzaga. I think this is their year to finally get over that hump, win it all.
Yeah, you think that Dak Prescott got paid in part because Jerry Jones knew about
knew
this
was
money?
coming.
$100 billion with a B.
On a deal that takes him through, I think, 2033.
No, 10 years.
Yeah, but I don't think it kicks in yet. I think they're still on the back end of the last deal, right?
$100 billion. So divided by 32 teams is 300 and something million, right?
Amazon gets exclusive streaming rights to Thursday night games. ESPN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. So all the players are still there.
The Thursday night game is still a great game. I love Thursday night football.
The games have been so crappy on Thursday nights, though. That's
Well, the
color
league
rush
is
thing
crappy. Tell me the
that's
league's not
true.
crappy.
No.
The league is crappy. The NFL has about 6 or 8 really elite teams. There's no parity in the NFL unless it's the parity of mediocrity.
Well, that's what they wanted, right?
I mean, the Carolina Panthers. There's some teams out there that are just like, bleh. The Jets forever. The Cowboys since 96.
Yeah, they adjusted the current deal. ESPN will get a couple of Saturday games with that'll be games that have playoff implications. So Interesting.
Yeah. $100 billion. Now you and I
So
were talking,
it makes you wonder, did he know that was coming and shortchange Dak Prescott? Because if Dak would have waited a couple of years,
right?
right?
Look at it like this.
I heard a stat this morning, 71 of the top 100 network TV games were NFL games.
You mean network TV?
I mean, network TV
Viewership.
shows that were watched.
71 of the top 100 have been NFL games. So interesting.
And you know the Super Bowls have probably been the top 10 of those.
If you watch Dak, do you see him differently if he makes $37 million as the franchise quarterback who's not getting paid, who's being disrespected by the man, versus the overpaid, questionable health quarterback that's going to make $40 million under contract? Do you expect more from him? Are you less patient with his recovery?
Does one injury make him injury prone? He hasn't had a track record of injuries.
But this is a major injury. I mean, there's no reason to think that game 3 of next year he doesn't twist
Except
an ankle and
that
miss the season.
technology, medical advancements are so much better. I mean, if Alex Smith could have 11 surgeries and come back to play,
We can make it better than he was.
kind
He's
of.
the $160 million man. To me, he hasn't done anything to merit that kind of cheese. But yeah, I did also hear
But he doesn't play defense.
Right.
I mean, and
Also,
again,
my deal is I can finish 7-9 without you. Do I need you?
can you? I mean, I don't know. They did,
The Red Rifle did just fine. Tripled his payday.
but
So, question.
the Red Rifle was a product of low expectations.
Serious
Nobody thought he
question.
was going to come in and take him to the win. They were just hoping he might manage games. And I don't think the Red Rifle played bad games.
The pass he threw to Gallup over the shoulder down that right sideline was so perfect. Here's my question to you. The Red Rifle performed last year at his career numbers in quarterback rating and all that. He was like at 87.8 or whatever. So, Cowboys fans, you want Dak for $40 million, or you want the Red Rifle for 10 and put the other $30 million into that defense? Which team's going to win? Give me the Cowboys defense and $30 million to prop it up. That's $30 million per season, people. That's 3 $10 million players. Now you got Andy Dalton behind center. Or do you got to pay Dak? You got to pay the man. The defense sucks and there isn't any money. You tell me which one you want.
But does it matter? When you're Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott's going to sell you a whole bunch of number 4 Cowboys jerseys in white, blue,
Camo.
color rush colors, camo pink.
Yeah, good point.
You know, it's an investment in the star and all that stuff up in
There, and I'll tell you something. At Jerry Jones level, there is no doubt in my mind that they put a price on, they put a value on winning, and it may be the ultimate determining factor, but they also have a fallback position of, but we're guaranteed $27 million worth of revenue off of Dak branded stuff. So we're really only on the hook for $13 million. I guarantee you they know that number. They do know that number.
I mean, if it was truly all about winning, the Cowboys would have won a Super Bowl by now.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And Jerry Jones, the Cowboys are worth like $5.5 billion. Billion dollars. He paid $140 million for him. Come on.
I don't think
He's
the
got the
Cowboys brand gets to where it is if they don't win those Super Bowls in the 90s.
Troy
Right.
Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
That success calculated at the time to be successful is what's gotten us as Cowboys fans to this point, that the legacy of that has lasted long enough that the light is still shining on the star in Dallas and on the side of the Cowboys helmets. They don't need to win another Super Bowl to keep Dallas as the most
Elite.
elite
It is.
and expensive franchise in all of sports.
Yeah, no, it's every team in the NFL, deep in their heart, they want to be the Dallas Cowboys. They do. They want the allure.
The owners want that.
The owners
Players,
want
I think, would want to be wherever Tom Brady is.
that. Right. Good point.
I mean, he's only going for what, number 8 this year?
Yeah. In 11, he's got 11 Super Bowl appearances. That tells you something.
Yeah, 7
hey,
and 11.
To leave you on a cheery note, you're done with us for this week.
Yeah.
We hope you folks have a great weekend. Please be safe. If you have a chance, good, clean, fun, entertaining, get over to the Goliad Rodeo. It's just a little 25-minute drive. You can't go wrong. And you'll have a great time over there. Now,
Absolutely. And as I mentioned yesterday, there's some great talent coming in for this rodeo. We usually benefit from Rodeo Houston taking place, but we're not hurting from top-level cowboys and cowgirls coming in to this this weekend's rodeo. I mean, we've got kid out of Alberta. I can't remember his first name. Last name is Hay. His dad was Rod Hay, great bareback rider out of Canada. I think 20. He qualified for 20 national finals rodeos. His dad did. I think that's like the most ever, or tied for the most ever. His son is now rodeoing. He finished 9th in the world standings in 2019, so it's going to be a good one. Uh-oh.
Get out to Inez this weekend for the there's a booster chili cook-off and adult softball tournament.
Yeah, because there's nothing so exciting as slow pitch adult softball.
Los Angeles, California. Some people rob for pleasure. Some rob because it's there. You never know. My name's Friday. I'm a cop. I was working the day watch on a robbery when I got a call from the Acme School Bell Company. There'd been a robbery. There's been a robbery. Yes, sir. What was it? My clappers. Your clappers. Yeah, you know those things inside a bell that makes them clang? The clangers. That's right, we call them clappers in the business. A clapper keeper. What's that? Nothing, sir. Now, can I have the facts? What kind of clappers were stolen on this caper? There were copper clappers. And where were they kept? In the closet. Do you have any ideas who might have taken the copper clappers from the closet? Well, there's one. I fired a man. He swore he'd get even. What was his name? Claude Cooper. You think that's right? I think Claude Cooper caught my copper clappers. You know where this Claude Cooper is from? Yeah. Cleveland. That figures. What makes it worse, they were clean. Clean copper clappers. That's right. Why do you think Cleveland's Claude Cooper would cop your clean copper clappers kept in your block?
pretty good.
It is pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, we'll do you one better. We'll get out of here.
Folks, y'all have a great day. We'll see you next week. We look very forward to being here.
Bye, folks.
Oh,